Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Ken's Media. My name is Mark, your host today, and I'm here with Tracy Davis. Tracy would like to share a little bit about her first time in Ghana. Hi, Tracy.
Hi, Mac. How are you?
I'm good, and you?
I'm good, thank you.
Beautiful. So, I would like you to tell the viewers about yourself. I know you, but they don't really know you.
Right, correct. Well, I'm Tracy. I live in the States. I'm in the Midwest, Kansas City, Missouri. I like to garden, flowers and all that. And this year I plan on growing some food with my grandkids, show them how to garden as well. So I have a busy lifestyle.
I can see that.
Yes,
And that's
yes.
good. We're here today on the first time in Ghana. How your preparation towards your trip went, how you got your visa, if it was stressful or not. So first of all, we'll start with what actually inspired you or got into your mind, like you have to go to Ghana and no other country in Africa but Ghana.
Okay. So I've always wanted to travel to the continent, right? And so I met a guy here who like kind of became my surrogate uncle who was from Ghana.
Right?
And he had a nephew that he wanted to play matchmaker. So we play matchmaker, and that kind of is the force that brought me to my first time being in Ghana, meeting the nephew.
So his nephew was in the States.
No, his nephew was not in the States. His nephew was in Ghana.
All right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that prompted my first visit to Ghana.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
See that. So things get easier for you. Um, Getting on your preparation, like getting the visa, going through with the documentation.
Okay, so I could say that it's been at least 10 years ago the first time I went,
That's a
and I
quite
just
long time ago.
yeah, and I can say that I don't remember it being a stressful thing to get like your visa and all that. All you need to do is like pay, send your information as a form, you print out, send that with your passport to the um, consulate in Washington D.C. They'll put a stamp in your visa, send your stuff back, and you're ready to go. I remember the first time I went, I had to get a series of vaccinations like yellow
You
fever.
had to get vaccinations also.
Yes, yellow
Okay.
fever. It was a few. It was a few. And
Mm.
and I'm thinking now, I don't know, I don't think they even require you to get a yellow fever vaccination anymore. I'm not for
Right.
sure. Last time I went, I know mine was expired, but I feel like I've been going over there so much now that I think I've picked up antibodies
Good
in
to
my
know it was
body.
expired. So next time I can give the information that you have the expired one, so you need to be checked. Right. Good for that
Right.
information, right?
Yeah. So yeah, last time I went I was good. Didn't get sick at all.
Mm.
I was good.
You're a
So
strong woman.
yeah. So documentation is not it's not a hard process
Mm.
going about going over there. So it's not like, oh my gosh, I got to fill out 15 forms and fax it and do it's a very, very straightforward process getting your visa to go to Ghana.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
What's the distance? What's the distance between Kansas City and Washington? Do you have to send it by post or you had to go with car or flight?
No. You just send it by post. You just mail it in.
And how long
Yeah.
does it take?
It didn't take that long to get my paperwork back. I would maybe say maybe a week. Now, mind you, that was over 10 years ago. The post office today, 2025, is much more slower than what it
Mm.
was 10 years ago. We're having issues with the post office and mail. So then it was, like I said, it was about a week that I got it back. So.
Yeah, things
Yeah.
changes as time goes by. I can
Mm-hmm.
understand that.
Yeah. Yeah.
After getting your documentation, what else did you have to do?
Okay.
What was the next step?
After getting documentations, that's it. After you get your passport and stuff back, you book your flight.
Oh,
And
that's simple.
so yeah, it's very very simple. It wasn't hard after I got my paperwork. All I had to do was book my flight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, book my flight. And
How
that was
long?
simple. That was simple.
That was simple, right? How long
Hmm.
did it take you from Kansas City to Ghana?
Let me say that is a flight that I have to mentally prepare for because of the distance. So I don't fly straight from Kansas City to Ghana. It is a stop. So I flew from here to Maryland. Maryland. Now from Maryland, DC area, it's a direct flight, which is good. So I flew from here to there. It took me 10 hours, and it's
10
overnight
good
flight.
hours.
10 hours, yeah, from DC to get to Ghana.
And how long did it take you from Kansas City to DC?
Maybe 2, 3 hours, 3 hour flight.
You
Yeah,
got a long
something
wait of transit.
long. When I got to DC, I had like if there was a layover, so I had to maybe wait like 2 or 3 hours before the flight from Ghana, would leave. So I always make sure that my flights are not like an hour. I need time, like between, so I'm not rushing and can potentially miss that flight. That's not a flight you want to miss,
Yeah, you're
right?
right. You're
Yeah,
right.
so I make sure I don't care if I have to wait 4 hours, until I get on the flight to Ghana. I just want to make sure I have enough time so that I do not miss that international flight for
Mhm.
sure. A couple of times I was close, but yeah, make sure you have ample time.
Yeah,
But
talking of being close, is it like the flight delayed?
no, it didn't delay. It was me. Oh, my flight from Kansas City, I had like some issues where like something was wrong with the plane. We had to get off of that plane. And, you know what I'm saying? They had to get me on another flight, especially because I was on an international flight. But I mean, that's neither here nor there. That just kind of happens with anybody in a flight, you know.
Yeah, shit happens sometimes.
It does. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So, right from Kansas City, you had to join the next flight from DC to Ghana, right? And you spent
Yes.
like 10 hours, 10 good hours on the flight from DC to Ghana. That could
Yeah.
have been so hectic, I guess.
I won't say hectic. It was one of the best worst experience that I've ever
Best,
had.
worst
Right?
experience. Okay.
Yes. Yes. So first off, we're on a big like Airbus. That's kind of what they call them. Sure, Airbuses that are, it's this big, massive airplane.
Hmm.
And the seats are probably this wide if you're in the regular economy, right? So
Hmm.
10 hours and you're hoping the people next to you are clean because it's a long flight
I get it.
to get over there, right? So when I arrived in Ghana, right? Because the first time I went, I arrived, it was nighttime. It was nighttime.
Was it so dark?
It
Let's
was
say
dark.
8 p.m., 9 p.m.
Something happened that delayed the flight. I can't remember what happened, but the flight arrived later. And like I said, it's been so long ago, I can't remember what happened. But I arrived there. I remember I arrived there like night, and it was kind of like dusk night,
Okay.
right? It was just the night was just coming on.
The night was young, you mean?
Yeah, I will never forget getting off the plane and feeling like somebody opened an oven door.
Oh,
That's how hot it was.
oh, wow.
I mean, it was just like, when I say 400-degree oven, door opening, heat, I distinctly remember the heat.
Yeah.
Like it's hot. It's hot and it's darker. You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
Hmm. Hmm.
like so anyway, I get off the plane and my phone is dead, right?
Yeah, that's
So
bad.
I get now, this is my first time ever being international anywhere.
Hmm.
And I get to I have to go through like the customs area.
Yeah,
They
right.
say, where are you going? I can't pull up my phone.
Hmm.
I packed my the converter plug. I packed that in my suitcase, so I didn't have it in my carry-on to even be able to plug my phone, so I didn't know the address,
The exact
by
location you
in
were
my
going.
yes. So they were saying, well, you don't know you need. I said, hey, listen, like the officers there that were there that worked there was like, you don't know where you're going, blah. And I said, my phone is dead. Listen, stop. Like, this is my first time here. I'm exhausted.
Hmm.
I'm nervous, right? Because now I can't see where I'm going. Like, my uncle's nephew was waiting for me. I'm like, he's there. Can you go get him? They're like, we can't leave here and go get him for you, But and I'm like, well, I guess I'm stuck in the airport because I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
The guy was nice and he put an address down. I don't know
Oh,
what he put there. He just wrote an ad. He must have felt sorry
at
because
the
he seen I
immigration,
was,
you mean?
yeah, not. I don't. He wasn't with immigration.
Okay.
Mind you, this was more than 10 years ago.
Oh, a
So things
random
are
person
different.
like you met in the queue, you mean?
Yeah, he wasn't. He was a person right there. So he just put an address down and
Hmm.
was like, okay, go. I'm like, thank you. And I didn't have anything. Now, unbeknownst to me, when you're in Ghana, you tip for everything, right? So I didn't know that. So I didn't have any type of like money on me to give him to, it just
Like
was,
you didn't have any local currencies. Yeah.
yeah. So I was able to get my luggage. As I walk through the airport, this is how they get you. I got pickpocketed. First
Oh,
time, walk through the airport and they know you, that you're not from there, and they can tell. So what they did is, whoever, when I came out of the airport, they created a diversion, right? To
okay.
have you look over there. And
Hmm.
I didn't catch it until later when I was thinking about it. I said, "Oh, yeah, I was set up." So they created this diversion. This guy looked at me. A guy was coming towards me, looked me dead in my face, and I seen him, but I'm looking at like, what's going on over here,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's when he pickpocketed me.
Oh,
I didn't even know it. So as I'm walking out, I'm with the nephew, and we're talking and we're walking, and somebody is saying, Tracy.
you'd be
Surely they
like,
cannot
yo,
be
that's my
talking.
first time. Who's
Nobody
calling
knows me.
Tracy?
Yeah. Tracy, which, thank God, at least he had the sense to be like, here, let me give her. This is not something that I can use. Let me give
Mhm.
her a passport. It was my passport. He took my passport.
Oh, he told you got your pets, right?
That's it. Yeah, but I didn't have it on me, right? I didn't have my yeah.
Mhm.
He got it out of my jacket pocket. So I'm me. I'm like, oh, thank you so much. I must have dropped it. I'm thinking I dropped it. No. I thought that, I was like, yeah, he pickpocketed me. And it took me a while to think about it. Like, this is what they do.
Mhm.
You come
Mhm.
through, they create this diversion, boom. That's how they get, I'm sure, a lot of people. I can say
Yeah.
this though, since that incident happened, now they have it. You don't do that. There's nobody in there. So, it's no diversions or not. You know what I'm saying? Like it's so different though. So different now. Back
Hmm.
then it's such a different sight to see when you go somewhere. That's why I love traveling because it's a different scenery.
Yeah.
Things it just kind of opens you up to just how people live differently and how things are in different countries,
Continents.
cultures,
Yeah.
all that. So okay, fast forward. We get into the cab
Hmm.
and we're driving. My heart is beating like 100 miles an hour because I'm mind you, this is my first time out of the
Yeah.
country.
Was it a
I've
taxi, Uber?
no Uber because they didn't have Ubers. It wasn't Ubering 10 years ago. They didn't have Ubers there. I don't
Okay.
even know if we had Ubers here.
Yeah, we do have Ubers here.
No, I'm talking about, I don't
Oh,
know
you're
if
talking about
we
10
had
years ago.
Ubers in the States. Yeah, if we was even doing Ubers, or maybe it was just something that was just coming out. No, it was no
Okay.
Ubers then. No Ubers. It was a taxi.
Mm.
So I'm in the taxi and I'm just like looking and okay, there's a smell
Okay.
because people are burning trash.
Hmm. Hmm.
We don't burn trash in the States, right? So
Yeah.
I'm looking, it was let me set the scene. The sun is coming down, so it's kind of like a red. I'll never forget. It's like kind of like a reddish sky, pretty,
Hmm.
you know. And I'm driving. I'm driving on the roads, and it's like it's very different from what it looks like over here. There's trash burning, a pile here, a pile. You just it's just a totally different thing. So, like I said, I'm just like this, just take it. And I'm a very observant person, so I like to take all things in, right?
Yeah.
So I'm looking around and I'm like, it's busy, right? And then you see people, you come to a stop at a light, and then you see these people are like, boom, with stuff that they're selling, all kinds
Okay.
of, and I'm just like, wow, this is like a store on the street.
Hmm.
You know, they're selling tissue paper, uh, Kleenex,
Hmm.
candy, windshield
Water in the
wipers,
sachets and also bottles and all that.
everything. So I'm like, wow. And then they're selling stuff on the side. So just very, very different from what I'm used to seeing, right? It's
Mm.
my first time seeing this.
Yeah.
So the roads we were on were good until we got to, like, I'll say we call them side streets, but like to the back, I'll say back roads. Because we don't have, I mean, we have like here, like potholes sometimes from the winter and the salt, and then they'll
Mm.
patch it up. But these were like dirt roads, which I had never seen anything like it. Like there's one road you can't go down because the grooves in the dirt are so deep. If you go down there, you're going to go in it.
I get it.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'm kind of fascinated by this, like, oh, wow, and well, I was very, very quiet, like on
Hmm.
the ride. And nephew was like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "I'm fine. I'm just kind of overwhelmed. Like everything is overwhelmed. My sense of smell is overwhelmed.
Hmm.
And two, the first time I went, like you notice, like the trenches." The trenches where it's sewage in the trench, you could really smell that. And so I'm like, oh, now I'm very respectful of cultures and places because I do know, everything is not like it's going to be what I'm used to, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you would never ever see me like, ugh, what? Like,
Hmm.
making fun of or turning my nose up or, I don't do that. But I was like, in my head thinking, why is this not covered up? I'm thinking, why is it just out here like that?
Yeah, because you're seeing things for the first time, so
Yes,
strange in a different
yes,
country.
yes,
Yeah, I get your
yes.
point. Yeah,
And I'm like, I have to jump over this, because you have to, you got to jump
exactly.
over it. I was like, oh, okay. So, but we got to the place that I stayed at. It was very different.
Was it a lodge, a hotel,
No, it was
Airbnb,
it was a it was a it was a residence,
a
someone's
residence? Right.
residence that I
Right.
stayed. And the thing about the residence was it was not a very nice place to stay.
Okay. Talking of
But
not being a
but I'm
very
very
nice place.
adapt. But I'm very adaptable,
Yeah.
right? I'm very
Sorry.
adaptable.
Talking of not being a nice place,
Yeah.
how did it look like? What made it not being a nice place?
I won't say the place itself because I feel like the person's place we stayed at was very gracious to even give up their place for me to stay there, right?
Okay.
And I appreciated that. But the surrounding areas, like there was an area to the side where it was like a trash,
Mm,
like a landfill. We call it landfills where they come and pick up our trash and they dump the trash over there.
yeah.
And yeah, that's what it was. So that smell too was awful.
Hmm.
Um, my skin when I first got there broke out.
Really?
My whole face, yeah, broke out in hives.
Hmm.
Um, I had to go to the like pharmacy to get some cream to put. When I say it just had bumps all
Was it
over my
because
face.
of the heat?
It could have been a combination of because I have sensitive skin.
All right.
It could have been combination of, and skin is the biggest organ that we have.
Mm-hmm.
It could have been a combination of the heat and the atmosphere as far as like the smoke and the pollution of it. I think because last time I went, I didn't have it,
All right.
but the first few times going there, the next day face just breaks out.
Okay.
Just breaks out. Yeah. And that was it. It was kind of painful,
Mm.
you know, not like, oh, these bumps, but just so I had to take a cool rag with cool water on it and just kind of put it on my face to kind of soothe my face. And another thing about going over there is what you're not used to is like here. When I come in, I can flick my lights on and the lights are on. I don't ever have to worry about them
Yeah.
shutting power off whenever they shut it off, shutting the tap off whenever
Whenever
they
they
shut
want.
it off. Yeah, yeah. So now I understood why they say buckets of water. So when they shut the tap off,
Mm.
if you don't have one of those poly containers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they
And it's
shut the
gonna be
tap off.
difficult, right?
Yeah, yeah. So my first time was kind of rough. It was a rough. I I
Oh,
I
yeah, because you
loved
you
it
got
though.
new experiences. Yeah.
Yes, 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 yeah. From 10 years ago up until now.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. So
Um, I'd like to know which part of the city you were living.
I was in. Um, the first time I went, I don't know, but
Okay. But did you live in the capital city? Did you travel from the airport, or you were just around, not far from the airport?
I would say Accra, but not far from the airport. But I was in Santa Maria.
Oh, Santa Maria. Okay.
Yeah, Santa Maria area.
So you were
Yeah.
still in Accra.
hmm hmm Yeah. But all in all, though, I say though, my first experience being there, like even the people, although they see you and they know you're not from there, they do try to rip you off. Like
Okay.
Because they think all Americans have money, which is not true. I mean,
You
but
think they think only Americans or like they think foreigners have money,
probably I think they think foreigners have money
right?
because they know if you come over there, the flight is an expensive flight.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe they think if you can get here and you have that type of money to get here, you got some type of money.
Don't you think, in other words, it could be like the economy or the situation in the country also that
But
makes like
definitely,
people think like that?
definitely. I think it's being there, seeing the it is it's a like it's a different struggle from
Mhm.
here to there. But it's like we all have our struggles, right?
Exactly.
This is a different struggle, and I can say honestly, I understand why they do what they do. I get it. I do. People are trying to legit survive and trying to feed themselves or a family. So,
Mm.
I mean, you can't be mad at somebody's hustle on what they're trying to do to take care of themselves. I mean, it is, it's not right, but it is what it is, you know?
Exactly. That's true.
Yeah. So I get it. I definitely get it. Yeah.
So, upon your arrival,
hmm
yeah, finally got home. Da 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 da. What are the places that you visited?
I went to Elmina Castle.
Elmina Castle.
hmm
Yeah.
which was very, very interesting. Very sad. Just
Okay, sad and
I
interesting. Tell me about
sad
the
and
interesting
interesting.
part,
Yeah.
and then after we go to the sad part.
Okay. Interesting is I've never seen a castle. I've never been in a castle before. Um,
So it was your first time, right?
it was my first time being in a castle.
Mm-hmm.
It was my first time hearing um like the stuff that went on in the castle, how it was built, how and let me say this. I understand, like over in Ghana is a very, now I'm sure there's some parts of unrest, but Ghana is a peaceful country. Like you don't see like a lot of lawlessness, a lot of fighting amongst each other. Peaceful. Very. I really really like that. Versus now we're having a versus
Mm-hmm.
versus black people in the States. I really like the camaraderie that Ghana people have, the community, the
Yeah.
love that they have for each other as a country, as a people. I really like that. We don't have that over here in the US. So I fell in love with that. That's what really made me fall in love with Ghana, even the first time that I went.
Can you explain a little bit further, talking about the love they have for each other, and
Yeah.
also compared to the states? I want you to give me some more expression about that.
Okay. So when I say that I love how they had how Ghana people have love for each other, I would see homeless people on the streets.
Mm-hmm.
People selling food would take down, give them like a meat pie. The other one will come along and give him a bottle of water. I feel like I'm starting to tear up because I feel like that me seeing that we don't they do it here kind of, but to me it was so much more meaningful there than
Yeah.
here. And I'm like, they are really like, you know what I'm saying? That just really like kind of touched me like on a different level.
Yeah.
Because although he's having a hard time or however he got himself there or they got themselves there, they are still like feeding.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? To make sure they have something to eat,
Exactly.
something to drink. And it is hot.
Yeah.
Very, very.
Very, very hard.
It was so very hot over there a few times that I
Mm.
cried. That's how
Mm.
hot it was.
So tell me about the sad part about Elmina Castle.
Okay, so when I went to Amino Castle, that was like I had never heard. I had never. First of all, I've never been to a castle and never been on a tour where they explain what happened in the castle. You
Oh,
know,
you got someone led by you to
yes,
explain
yes,
whatever
a
that
tour.
happened there.
Hmm. How they packed people in. And here's the thing, and let me put this in here so that maybe they could understand what I'm when I say how I feel sad,
Mm.
because in Ghana hasn't, African people have not really faced the type of racism that Black Americans face in the United States.
That's right.
So when they talk about, you just don't pay attention to what they say. This is African people saying, don't pay attention to what like other people say. Just go on about your business. You have to understand that the United States is a racist country. It is. It still is.
I think
They,
it's most part of the world, right?
you're right. I would agree.
Racism is
I would agree.
everywhere. Yeah.
Yes, I would agree. I would agree. But I think that like and this is my experience and how I felt sad like listening to these stories about the castles, because I'm like, damn, it's like a never ending. Now, mind you, Africans were selling Black people. They had a part in that with the Dutch that came over there and kind of, bought these people from African people and took them across.
That's when you went there on your first time.
Hmm. Yeah, that's
Was
what
it
I.
happening?
You said, I'm sorry. What was that again?
Was it happening during your time of vacation in Ghana?
No, this I'm talking 400 years ago or
Oh,
however
years
long. This
back.
is history.
Okay.
This is history.
Mm-hmm.
So for me as an African American woman, and I just say a Black woman from America, coming to Ghana to a castle that where the reason I'm in the States is because at one point in time, my ancestors were taken and brought to the States. And the way that, like, when he showed us the cells, how they packed people in the cells with this little small block window. And I know how hot it is. Oh, it just and some people didn't make it out because they were just crammed in this room. It was such a feeling of dread to me, looking at like still and yet what these white people have done and continue to do hundreds of years ago. You know, it was. I like the experience of it. I mean, as far as getting the history of it, but just being in a place where, what if one of my ancestors were in this chamber,
Yeah.
right? What if one of my ancestors were in this, had to walk out this
Mm.
uh, door to get on this boat to go to where, who know, you know what I'm saying?
I get it.
What if someone, yeah, that resonated within me, and just, before I know it, I have tears coming out of my eyes.
I feel it right now.
Because-
That was so disheartening. I can
Yeah,
tell.
yeah. So that was a good experience for me, but very, very, I actually want to go back.
Mm.
I actually want to go back. And
Talking of going back, what's the reason behind it?
I can't even give you a reason.
Mm.
Honestly, you want me to give you a reason? I can't give you the reason. I don't know if it's because maybe the spirits are calling me back for something. I don't know, but
Hmm.
I want to go back. It seems every time I go to Ghana, I want to go back. Not I've only been once, but I want to go back.
Mm.
It's strange, but I want to go back. I feel like every Black person should take a trip to Africa, any part of Africa. I think you'll understand you better as a Black person when you go there, because I feel like I understand me better. It definitely changed me as a person, I say. for
Okay.
sure.
What kind of experiences did you get as in Ghana as a whole?
Oh man, it was probably going to Ghana is probably one of the greatest highlights in my life. Like traveling, that's probably why I go all the time back because it's like, although things are different, it's a different life over there. I feel like I kind of feel like I belong.
Mm,
You know, I have this sense of I belong there, but to be honest with you, most Ghanaians will let you know though that you don't. You
right,
know, they will
right.
let you know that you don't. They will let you know that you are not them. Although I am, but they will
Yeah,
let you know that you're not, which is that's disheartening as well.
I know.
You know, I don't belong here on a continent that I originated from. Guess what? My body is from there, right?
Right.
My ancestors are from there too. And it's bad because we're not wanted there. I won't say wanted, but we're not for me. And I'm just gonna speak on my experience. And it's not all Ghanaians, but most are like, you know, you're not Ghanaian, you're not African, you're not
Of
African.
course, that's
So I'm not African
completely
there.
correct. You're not
Yeah, and
Ghanaian, you're not African. That's
yes,
what people see you to be like, because
yes,
nobody knows your background, where and where you're
exactly.
from, you know, or who your real parents are, if they're from Ghana or not. So that's what
Yeah,
definitely they're gonna tell you.
yeah. And then in the United States where I was born and raised, I'm not here. You have white people telling me to go back to Africa.
Of
Okay,
course,
I've been. And so I feel like here I am, right?
it's a dicey living right now. Yeah.
And yes, especially here in the States. You right now, the type of era that we're in now, that what's going on with this president that we have, it just lets you know, like being here. And I feel like and another thing I feel like is that like people from Africa want to get to the States like it's this big end all.
Hmm.
It's it's not what you think. It's hard
Exactly.
here too. It's hard here too.
Exactly. Hard everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, you tell
Yeah.
them they never believe it until they get there, right?
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Things and I think what it is because they see I would say in some places you know because there's beautiful to me Africa is beautiful
Hmm.
and I feel sad that the roads shouldn't be in the condition that they're in. Number one,
That's right.
that the infrastructure should be way up here, but you know you have greed, and
Hmm.
as people, what can you do when that's human nature? Is what people do. But I feel like you know it's like this. I'm from the U.S. I love Ghana. People from Ghana maybe come to the U.S.
They love the
They love
States.
U.S. You don't appreciate what you have and
Never.
I mean you know what I'm saying like there I'm like y'all don't appreciate the
Hmm.
food. You know when I'm over there I feel so good. Guess why? I'm the fruits and the vegetables that I eat over there are not covered in pesticides. It's fresh. I can get a mango off a tree that's
Hmm.
so good. I don't eat mangoes here.
Why are
They
you
don't
gonna plug them? You don't even see them. Where are you gonna
what?
see them? You have to go to the supermarket to buy them, right?
Africa, they pick them off the tree for me. It's fresh. It's
Hmm.
good. Even the onions and the tomatoes, there's
Yeah.
a different taste because it's fresh. The pineapple, I've never ever had pineapple so good in my life. I think I was addicted to it when I was over there.
Mm.
It's just such a different, yes, it's very different.
Favorite food in Ghana?
Favorite food in Ghana. Favorite fruit, pineapples. Favorite food in Ghana. You know, I like the tilapia,
Okay.
but I also like if it's a meal, the peanut butter soup.
Mm.
Yes.
That's what we call in Katum Kwai.
Hey, whatever it is, that's it. That's it. That's it.
But
I do
Tracy,
love
you have to
watching
say in Katem Kwine.
in Compton Quine.
Good, perfect.
Yes, yes. So I do like a little watchy. It
Oh,
has to be made
watching.
a certain way, yeah,
Mm.
that I like it. I've only had two places that I liked it.
Oh, okay.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. So
Any other
mhm.
food?
I like the yams.
Hmm.
I like fufu.
Oh, fufu. I
Hmm.
know most people like fufu.
Yeah, I like fufu. I have a box of fufu right now up there.
Oh yeah.
Mhm. That I make it. Hmm.
Mm. So, apart from Elmina, what other places did you visit?
Uh, Kakum.
Kakum National Park.
That's it. Hmm. I walked over the I don't even know what to call it. Like the walkway that they have over the forest.
Oh
That
yeah,
was
you
scary.
crossed that one. Okay.
I'm scared of heights,
Mm-hmm.
but I was able to walk over. I didn't see anything looking down, but yeah,
How high
that
was
was,
it? Can you tell?
it was very high.
And the distance across?
I don't know about the distance across. That I don't know. It wasn't too bad, but because I was holding on.
Did you
Right,
cross it alone by yourself or you were with someone? Did you
nephew
get
was
an
there.
aid? Oh, so
The
nephew gave
nephew
you an
was
aid,
there.
right?
Yes, yes, yeah. But I was holding on. That was fun though. That was nice. Um, where else did I go? I think that was the only two places that I visited. I wouldn't mind going back there though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You should go to the Brewery Gardens.
The Who Gardens?
Brewery Gardens.
A Brie. Okay. I'll
Yeah,
put that down. Maybe next time I'll go. A
exactly.
Brie.
Did you get sick during your stay in Ghana?
I did.
Mm.
I had stomach issues, GI issues. Definitely. I had that. Yes.
And you
Yeah.
think it was a cause of something that you ate, or
I believe so, yeah.
and were you able to figure out what exactly?
No, not at all.
And after then, did you have any precautions again?
Um, no. Say that again, I'm sorry.
After that, did you have any feeling of funny feeling? After that, did you have any funny feeling again?
No, no. The first time I was there, I was kind of sick, like as far as GI issues about the whole time I was there.
Mm.
The whole time.
So it was the only thing that happened to you, right?
Yes, yes. Yeah.
How did you find your stay in Ghana?
It was interesting. It was nice though. I don't have, I really don't have any complaints. Um, it was my first time. It was what it was. It gave what it was supposed to give. I say I enjoyed myself. I was there almost a month.
Almost a month. Wow.
Almost a
That's for
month.
your first time.
First time. Yeah, yeah. And I stay that long because it's such a long flight. I'm gonna stay,
Yeah.
as long as I possibly can. Yeah. So it was very, like I said, I fell in love with Ghana, like still am. The people, you know, that just the whole. I feel safe there, and like it's just I mean I'm always aware, you know, but I feel very safe. I feel safer there than I do here in the States, and I
Really?
can say that. Oh yeah, for sure, for
Okay.
sure. Hmm.
Because I thought we got like most of the securities overseas. But if you say you felt so safe in Ghana,
Hmm.
that's impressive.
Yeah, I did. I do.
I know you've been to Ghana after your first time, but do you have any plans of going back soon?
Yes,
Would you have been to Ghana if you never knew anybody or didn't get linked up to anybody in Ghana?
probably yes.
I like that confidence. I like that
Yeah.
confidence.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, for sure.
3 lines for viewers.
3 lines for viewers. Um, don't be afraid. Go.
And experience
Um,
it.
mhm. Have an open mind. Explore. I say be respectful of people and cultures. You know, the culture. Yeah, just enjoy yourself.
All right. I'm glad to have you here today. And I'm glad for everything that you spit out for viewers. And I
Thank
know
you.
people that watching this video will also have some experiences what it is like in Africa, Ghana, the
Hmm.
continent, to go there and experiences, and also like to visit Elmina like you did and to have the experience you got there.
Hmm.
Thank you very much, Tracy. It was a pleasure having you.
Thank you so much for having me, Mac. I really do appreciate it. I can't wait for the next time. And you guys, please like, subscribe, and share this video.
Thank you.
Thank you.